Hey, Sean here from SpeedQBView.com. I have not one, not two, but three different Tornado V3s from QiYi. These are the new X-Man design V3 Tornadoes, and there's three different versions of them. We have the standard version that has adjustable magnets and a dual adjustment system. Then we have the Flagship that has the adjustable magnets, the dual adjustment system, and core magnets. And then we have the Pioneer, which has all of that plus a maglev tensioning system. Now, if I went through all of this, especially with the maglev, there's 125 different tension settings. This video would be an hour long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to today unpack the Flagship version, see what it feels like, see what the tensioning's like, and see just overall what it's like so I can let you know. Then I'm going to spend more time trying each of them out, trying the Pioneer one because this maglev system is different than other ones. So for example, the maglev system in other companies' puzzles, when you adjust the elasticity, it's like the spring. It tightens that spring. It makes that magnetic length smaller. But that also kind of adjusts how much it can move. And this one, you can do that, but you can also adjust where the magnet sits. So if it's right over top, that's a stronger pull compared to if the magnet's a little offset. And so that's where the 125 different tensioning options come from. So I'm really excited to see what that's like. But for right now, we'll do the Flagship one. So stay tuned, subscribe. So stay tuned and subscribe for the big comparison later on. There'll definitely be another video. That will be that one and possibly other ones that go into more detail because there's a lot to unpack here. Unbox. Okay, so looking at this, we have this cool box now. I don't know if it's supposed to be offset like that, or it was just mine because they put it in real quick. We have, actually, let me adjust my camera here. I don't like how that looks. I don't want it so warped. I like this better. So we have primary internals. Now, the Tornado V2, I believe, had black internals mainly, but you could get primary internals. So this one's just that. A couple of the things about here. The plastic is fairly glossy. We don't have, let's see if I get some light shining. It's not super duper glossy, but it's not a matte finish. So it's not slick at all. We have a similar magnet looking system. We've got that sort of cobweb track system. Before I break it open and see what's under the hood, we've got this pamphlet that goes through all the details in Chinese and in English. And we have how to adjust the tension settings. 1 is the weakest, 5 is the strongest. I like that they actually tell that because sometimes I feel like it's opposite. Dual adjustment system. Now you don't need any tool for this. You can adjust it by hand. You have the inner circle, which is the current axis distance. So as if you're like tightening a screw or loosening a screw. And then the center piece notch, which is the actual compression of the spring. So the elasticity. Now, there is a little thing that prohibits adjusting screws.
Note the screws of the dual adjustment system are the default setting in the standard condition to ensure more accurate adjustment of tension of the axis distance. Do not adjust the screws by yourself.
So, there apparently is the option to do that, but don't do that. Turning counterclockwise, adjust the axis distance. Turning clockwise, adjust the spring tension. That's just like before. And so here they're just showing that you have 25 different tensioning options. When Cube started going to that preset tensioning where there's only like 3 options or 5 options, I originally hated it because I felt like they were all too loose, and they've gotten so much better. I don't know if they just listened to me. I'll say they did. And they made it where you could make it tighter, but they definitely did that. We have this box here too where we have another bag, and this looks similar, if not the exact same as the bag before. We have a card here. We have a little tool, a little tiny screwdriver for the magnet adjustment if need be, a cleaning cloth, and a guide on how to solve it. Okay, let's move all that aside. Let's move all this aside. Let's get us some more space here. And let's look under the hood. So that's what that looks like. We can lift up this little handle here. And right now, let's see, you can see it's on 3. And the notch that's in the cap is also on 3. So if I tighten it here and go clockwise 2 turns, 1, 2, that is a really satisfying click. We are now on 5 for the elasticity. And if I go back 1, 2, we are now on 5 for the distance from the core, so how tight the cube is. Let's go just to 3 and 3. There we go. So that's how it was originally. And without any adjustment, let's just scramble it up. Okay, I need to actually measure this too and check the weight, but this, it feels a little like the V2, but it feels swooshier. It feels like I could actually feel the tracks a bit, and it's almost as if the pieces are lifted off a little bit more. It doesn't feel like there's as much contact between the pieces. I don't want to say scratchy because it's very solid feeling. What would be solid but has, you could feel the grooves. I don't know. If you think of a word, let me know. Okay, let's go for a solve. I'm going to go around the camera a bit. Let's turn this slightly. Oh, I messed up. Right out of the box, I can see why Max Park was able to get a 3.6 second solve officially on this. Oh, I didn't say that. Yeah, there's been already some amazing solves on this from top solvers. This has been out in their hands already. It just moves. I'm not going to do any setup. I'm not going to add any lubrication to this. I might not even tension it. I mean, I'm going to test it out. But I really like how it is right now. The magnet strength is fairly great. This is the one with the core magnets. The tensioning seems great. I mean, I often have it fairly tight, and that's pretty good right there. Out of the box, this is Speed Cube Review tensions and lubrication, basically. I mean, I might have, if I was doing it myself, might have tightened it a little bit more, lubricated it a little bit more, but that's basically it. Let's check the size of this. $55.2. So I think this is slightly larger. Just under 55. Just under 55 and a half. Depending on where I'm measuring it, there's 55 and a half, but if I go a little bit higher up. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be 55. So it's 0.5 millimeter larger than the V2, it seems like, from my measurements. It feels a little more controlled, more stable, but also less contact between the pieces. This is wonderful. So there's a lot of cubes that I've tried. I'm like, this is good. This one's nice. This works. I've been a fan of the V2 since it came out. I used it before the core magnets. When I got the core magnet version, I got that one. And this is along those same lines. It's stable. It is controllable. It has a lot of adjustment settings without being too complicated or convoluted. And it looks good. And if there was a competition tomorrow, I will use this puzzle. So I'm going to do some solves on cubing time, on speed solving forum and another place, and use this cube, see what times I get. I'm going to make another video within a week of comparing all three and talking about the maglev version and if it's worth it to get the maglev version. But if you're unsure, their flagship is great. So thank you very much for watching. Leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, keep following Speed Cube Review for more news and reviews.